A lot of thirsty administrators up here. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Provost Ann Cudd, and it's my great honor to open the ceremony for the University of Pittsburgh's 2022 Faculty Honors Convocation. Thank you for joining us on this important occasion as we pay tribute to our faculty colleagues. It's really great to be back here in person again, isn't it? This event marks the first time we've established 3 separate convocations, one for faculty, one for graduate and professional students, and one for undergraduates. It's been exciting to re-envision convocation, the opportunity to focus on the absolutely outstanding achievements of our faculty and students in this way really gives us time to share in their achievements and to celebrate them more fully. Since 1787, our commitment to having an impact through the work of our faculty, students, and alums has been unwavering, and the results can be seen in almost every aspect of human welfare, as well as in the economic and intellectual vitality of our local and global communities. In its present form, this ceremony honors both academic accomplishment and leadership of individual members of our community. I congratulate all who are being recognized today. And now I would like to introduce Patrick Gallagher, Chancellor of the University of Pittsburgh.
Thank you, Ann. It's great to see you all. And let me add my welcomes to our 2022 Faculty Honors Convocation ceremony. First of all, to all of our awardees being recognized, congratulations. We are pleased and delighted to recognize you individually, but I wanted to actually, before we get started, just make a comment about the times. First of all, we haven't done this for several years for obvious reasons, and I just wanted to reflect on the extraordinary thing that you've accomplished. We were reminded in a powerful way that the business of education, of scholarship, of research is in fact a collective one, driven by social interaction, by working with other people. And this pandemic took that away in many respects through this period, or at least disrupted it. Remember, when this started, we really didn't know how this was going to unfold. We were afraid of some very worst case scenarios at the outset of this. And through it all, through your efforts, our research mission continued. In fact, it grew. Our teaching mission was reinvented on the fly. We're doing things that we didn't believe we could do just a few years ago. And this university is thriving at a time when many institutions are not. And I just wanted to extend my deepest gratitude to all of you for that labor of love, a lot of labor, by the way, and I know a lot of love. I know people have not probably worked any harder, maybe under no greater uncertainty than you worked and contributed and advanced this university. So on behalf of the university, on behalf of all the students who benefited, on behalf of this country and this world who have benefited from your work, I just want to know that your efforts did not go unrecognized. And that really goes to our entire remarkable faculty community. So please, let's start by just giving yourselves a great round of applause for everything you've been through. So I get to kick this off, and we will be bringing up a number of groups here in various categories to recognize various Chancellor level awards. I'd like to begin with 4 recipients of the Chancellor's Distinguished Public Service Award, and I'd like to invite our Provost to come forward and join me on the invisible black line here. As your name is called up, please come up on stage and be recognized by the group, and then we will do the pins, the certificates, and the pictures at the end. First, Rasta Farzan, Associate Dean for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion in the School of Computing and Information, receiving the award for working to improve the representation of underrepresented populations in computing and information. Among other projects, Dr. Farzan created a data advocacy summer program and engages students in real-world projects for local organizations. Congratulations. This is always hardest if you're first because you get all the stagecraft up front, so everybody else pay attention here. Richard Garland, assistant professor in the School of Public Health, is being honored for his work to reduce gun violence, including the Violence Prevention Initiative and the Gunshot Reoccurring Injury Prevention Services Program. Congratulations. John Sebastian, director of the McCamish Construction Management Program in our Swanson School of Engineering, is recognized for co-creating the Experiencing Architecture Summer Program and leveraging his extensive industry experience to mentor students and benefit Pitt's construction management program. Congratulations. John, I neglected to mention something else. So he also serves on multiple boards of community organizations, including the Sarah Hines House and the Mascaro Construction Academy. Next, Shannon Wandless, associate professor in the School of Education. She's being honored for her role as the director of the Office of Child Development, which engages nearly 7,000 people in community-focused programs each year. Dr. Wandless is also the co-creator of the My Racial Journey program and the co-lead of the Pittsburgh Studies Early School Age Cohort and several other social justice and equity initiatives. Congratulations. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
By the time I figure this out, we'll be past this whole point, so. It is now my pleasure to present the 5 honorees being recognized with the Chancellor's Distinguished Teaching Awards. First, Brenda Cassidy, Associate Professor of Health Promotion and Development, School of Nursing, is honored for developing teaching modules for healthcare providers to improve health outcomes for LGBTQIA+ patients. Along with her commitment to inclusive and engaging teaching, she is a legislative advocate for these youth. Congratulations. Samuel Dickerson, Associate Professor of Electrical and Computer Engineering, Swanson School of Engineering, is honored for leading the undergraduate computer engineering program, one of the largest in the school. In this role, he advises more than 300 students. Congratulations. Peter Drain, Associate Professor of Cell Biology, School of Medicine, is recognized for developing curricula in the School of Medicine that have contributed to its rapid and sustained rise in national reputation. He has also helped to launch the medical school's highly successful biomedical master's degree program. Congratulations. Andrea Hergen-Roeder, Associate Professor in the School of Health and Rehabilitation Sciences, is honored for exceptional leadership as Director of the Pre-Health Resource Center, which advises undergraduate students prepare to enter the health professions, and is Director of the Doctor of Physical Therapies program, residential option. Congratulations. Guts Vaser, the Nicholas DeCecco Professor of Chemical and Petroleum Engineering, the Swanson School of Engineering, He's being honored for developing a 30% of all the classes in the department, their undergraduate curriculum, along with developing courses and showing a willingness to teach beyond his required load. Besser has created 2 student clubs as well. Congratulations. It is now my privilege to present the Chancellor's Distinguished Research Awards, and I'd like to invite Senior Vice Chancellor for Research Rob Ruttenbar to join me. This award recognizes outstanding scholarly accomplishments of members of the Pitt faculty in 2 distinct categories. We will begin by recognizing 3 junior scholar awardees who have made noteworthy independent contributions to their fields in the early stages of their careers. Anne Rusandra Carvunas, Assistant Professor of Computational and Systems Biology, School of Medicine, is recognized for her research on new genes that emerge through evolution. She is one of only a very few number of experts on this aspect of evolution, and her peers describe her work as, quote, among the most innovative in evolutionary biology. Congratulations. And you're going to be pinned momentarily by yourself, but I want to recognize 2 of your colleagues who are not here today. Gina Ann Garcia, Associate Professor of Educational Foundations, Organizations, and Policy in our School of Education, is honored for her work on higher education and the Latinx population of the United States. A leading scholar on Hispanic-serving institutions, she has drawn attention to the role of these institutions and how they can best support students. So congratulations to Gina. And Cecilia Yates, Associate Professor of Health Promotion and Development in our School of Nursing, is being recognized for her research to understand the signaling networks that underlie pathologic fibrosis across multiple tissue and organ systems. She's a rising star in the field, but she is also working to develop therapeutics for fibrotic disease. So congratulations to Cecilia. It is now my pleasure to present, in the other category, the Distinguished Research Awards in the Senior Research category. We have 3 awardees, 2 of whom I believe are in attendance. Jeffrey Brodsky, the Avanoff Professor of Biological Sciences in the Kenneth P. Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences, is honored for his research in cell biology and biochemistry, connecting basic research to multiple health applications. Among his contributions to the field, Dr. Brodsky discovered a cellular quality control system that destroys malformed proteins, many of which are related to human disease. Congratulations. He must be the one not here, which I should have known. David Brent, Distinguished Professor of Psychiatry, Pediatrics, and Epidemiology in Clinical and Translational Science, and Endowed Professor of Suicide Studies in the School of Medicine, is being recognized for years of impactful research, including work identifying the risk factors and processes behind adolescent depression and suicidal behavior. Congratulations. Jeff Inman, the Albert Wesley Frey Professor of Marketing and Associate Dean for Research and Faculty in the Joseph M. Katz Graduate School of Business, is honored for his pioneering work in a field of marketing that explores how the experience of consumers in stores affects how they make decisions. Congratulations. And finally, this year we have a new category. It is a real honor for me to present a special Chancellor's Distinguished Service Award, and in this case, a group award, to the University of Pittsburgh's COVID-19 Medical Response Office. This novel award was created specifically to recognize the exceptional services performed by the CMRO during these extraordinary times. And I'd like to call each of the members of the CMRO forward, beginning with John Williams, who's not here, the Henry L. Hillman Professor of Pediatric Immunology and CMRO Director, who's unable to attend this afternoon, but I am pleased to introduce our other CMRO members, starting with Elise Martin, Associate Professor of Pediatrics in the Division of Infectious Disease, Melissa McGivney, Associate Dean for Community Partnerships and Professor of Pharmacy and Therapeutics in Pitt School of Pharmacy, and Joe Suyama, Associate Professor in the Department of Emergency Medicine in the School of Medicine. The members of the CMRO kept all of us safe and informed and promoted a sense of community through this exceptionally challenging time. And I just want to say personally, they were invaluable to me as we faced collectively this health crisis. And as my mom would remind me, I'm not a real doctor, so with apologies to my Pitt PhD, of course. But we just wanted to say thank you to this extraordinary group of individuals for the service that they did, really above and beyond any of the work they had been doing prior. But they equipped us as a community with the tools that we needed to safely navigate a pandemic while maintaining and still advancing our academic mission. I'd like to ask Dr. Anantha Shekhar, the Senior Vice Chancellor for the Health Sciences and Director of our Healthcare Advisory Group, to say a little bit more about the CMRO, which means you will have to stand and enjoy the accolades a little bit longer.
Well, thank you, Chancellor. And thanks also for acknowledging the extraordinary efforts of the COVID-19 medical response team. As we all have come to rely on over the last almost 2 years, the CMRO has been the go-to source for not only information about COVID and management of COVID on campus, but also all of the extraordinary services that we had to put in place to manage COVID pandemic. It began when, literally when I first joined Pitt, when the Chancellor created the Healthcare Advisory Group to help design our strategy and our approach to managing COVID. And as chair of HCAG and with the help of the Chancellor, we created this office, and the CMRO was created specifically to manage the challenges of a pandemic, the strategies to both mitigate the spread of the virus, but also eventually vaccinate and support the treatment of those who did come in for appropriate care. So this task involved, from the beginning, strategies to, all the way from populating the campus back after the summer break in a safe way, creating quarantine facilities, creating isolation housing, creating essentially all of the prevention protocols before students could get into classes. And then, of course, there was a whole host of mitigation supplies and literally tons of masks and gloves and hand washing and cleaning that had to be managed. So when John Williams took on this role, along with great help from Elise and Joe, this was really a godsend for us. So we were able to do this very effectively. And also, I would say, very economically. There were schools that have tested, students literally every other day and had worse outcomes than what our CMRO managed by being epidemiologically sensible, infectious disease management informed, as well as pandemic management strategies that were truly unique and new. So we, in fact, published an academic paper of how Pitt managed the pandemic. So all of that has happened within the initial year of the CMRO. But then we got the vaccine. So that was a whole different challenge now. Suddenly we had vaccination for students, vaccination for faculty, and imagine 40,000 people getting vaccinated through the Pitt infrastructure. So we were truly sort of blessed with having Melissa McGivney from the School of Pharmacy join the CMRO team as the director of our vaccine program. And Joe and Elise continued their great work as people that did contact tracing, created the infrastructure for tents that were prepared for testing, and so on, all those logistics. And Joe, in particular, I would have to emphasize, was the man who managed the other campuses, other Pitt campuses, which had no infrastructure like we have here in Oakland. So all of these extraordinary activities over the last 2 years have not only kept our students safe, our faculty safe, and now we're in a position to really boast some of the lowest incidence of COVID adverse outcomes of any higher ed university. So I'm very proud of all the great work they've done, and it is extraordinary pleasure for me to be able to honor them along with the Chancellor with this special Chancellor's Distinguished Service Award.
It was extraordinary, but let's not do it again. Anantha, thank you so much. It is now my pleasure, as we move to our next phase of our afternoon, to honor our distinguished professors and endowed chairs, to invite John Wallace, Vice Provost for Faculty Diversity and Development and Chair of the Distinguished Professor Endowed Chair Committee.
Well, first of all, I want to thank our team. I was voluntold that I was the chair of this committee, so thank you for that opportunity. My mom always tells me I'm distinguished, so here, let me put this on before I get started. I keep this with me because, Mom said, baby, you're distinguished. I said, all right, Mama, so I'm going to keep this with me Put this on. All right, very good. Now, at the University of Pittsburgh, we're fortunate to have a tremendously strong faculty that regularly make meaningful contributions in the areas of course research, teaching, and service. We increase knowledge, creativity, and discovery. But even among all of these outstanding faculty, there are those who make outstanding contributions. And for those individuals whose accomplishments and contributions are well beyond those expected of a full professor, the university can recognize them with appointment as an endowed or distinguished professor, the highest recognition the university can give to a member of its faculty. Colleagues and deans nominate each candidate for these roles, and their peers, and particularly on the Distinguished Faculty Committee, recommend each appointment. It is our custom in the Academy to present medallions as an age-old form of recognition for those who have made exceptional scholarly contribution. They represent the highest esteem in which we hold our colleagues. Chancellor Gallagher, Provost Cudd, and Senior Vice Chancellor Shaker, I invite you all to join me as we present these awards. And today we acknowledge the following individuals: the invisible pretend black line again. Distinguished Professor of Philosophy, Robert Batterman, the Kenneth P. Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences. Distinguished Professor of Psychiatry, David Brent, School of Medicine. Samuel P. Harbison Endowed Assistant Professor in Surgery, Joshua Brown, School of Medicine. We're supposed to do the pictures individually, I'm sorry. We are? Yes, they're distinguished. That's what the team just told me. David Brent, School of Medicine. Did you get your photo? Yes. Oh, fantastic. Thank you. Joshua Brown again. All right. All right. Distinguished Professor of Pediatrics, Terrence Dermody, School of Medicine. Distinguished Professor of Medicine, Torrin Finkel, School of Medicine. Congratulations. Distinguished Professor of Microbiology and Molecular Genetics, Joanne Flynn. Distinguished Professor of Neurological Surgery, Robert Friedlander. The Pittsburgh Foundation endowed professorship in psychiatry research, Tina Goldstein, School of Medicine. Distinguished Service Professor of Pediatrics, Alejandro Hoberman, School of Medicine. Wesley W. Posvar, Chair in International Security Studies, Michael Kenny, Graduate School of Public and International Affairs. Pittsburgh Foundation Endowed Chair in Precision Medicine, Adrian V. Lee, School of Medicine. Orland Bethel Professorship in Spine Surgery, June Y. Lee, School of Medicine. Distinguished University Professor of Medicine, Arthur S. Levine, School of Medicine. Distinguished Professor of Chemical and Petroleum Engineering, Steve Little, Swanson School of Engineering. Rachel Carson, Chair of Environmental Health, Sally Wenzel Morgenroth, Graduate School of Public Health. Distinguished Professor of Epidemiology, Ann Newman, Graduate School of Public Health. The Shear Family Foundation Chair in Breast Cancer Research, Steffi Ustrike, School of Medicine. Dickey McCamey and Chilcote Chair in Bioethics, Lisa Parker, Graduate School of Public Health. The UPMC Pellegrini Chair in Cardiothoracic Surgery, Julie Filippi, School of Medicine. The Andrew W. Mellon Professor of English, Gail Rogers, the Kenneth P. Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences. Distinguished Service Professor of Acute and Tertiary Care, Margaret Rosenweig, School of Nursing. Distinguished Professor of Engineering and Computing and Information, Robert A. Ruttenbar, Swanson School of Engineering, School of Computing and Information. Distinguished Professor of Physics, Chandralika Singh, Kenneth P. Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences. The Watson Family Chair in Surgery, Matthew Rosengart, School of Medicine. He's in good shape. You see how he bounded up on us? Distinguished Professor of Physics and Astronomy, David Snoke, Kenneth P. Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences. Distinguished Service Professor of Critical Care Medicine, Ann Thompson, School of Medicine. John J. Fung, Astellas Pharma US Inc., Assistant Professor in Transplant Surgery, Samir Tommy, School of Medicine. Distinguished Professor of Immunology, Dario Vignali, School of Medicine. Distinguished Professor of Surgery, William Wagner, School of Medicine. The Andrew Mellon Chair of History and Philosophy of Science, David Wallace, Kenneth P. Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences. Diabetes and Metabolic Bone Disease Chair, Vijay Yekor, School of Medicine. Distinguished Professor of Emergency Medicine, Don Yealy, School of Medicine. Distinguished Service Professor of Pathology, Adriana Zevi, School of Medicine. I invite my boss, the Provost of the University of Pittsburgh, back to the podium.
And now we will honor this year's awardees of both the Provost's Award for Excellence in Doctoral Mentoring and the Provost's Awards for Diversity in the Curriculum. The Provost Award for Excellence in Mentoring recognizes as many as 4 University of Pittsburgh faculty members each year who demonstrate outstanding mentoring of graduate students seeking a research doctorate degree. Winners receive a cash prize of $2,500. This year, we celebrate 4 honorees. Chancellor Gallagher, I invite you to join me as we present these awards. First one is not here, but let me read about him. Payman Givi, Distinguished Professor of Mechanical Engineering and Materials Science, and the James T. McLeod Professor of Mechanical Engineering. He also holds a secondary appointment in the Swanson School of Petroleum Engineering and joined Pitt's faculty in 2002. He's also the co-founder and co-director of the PhD program in computational modeling and simulation. As one of Payman's mentees has observed, when I began working in Professor Givi's laboratory, I came to realize that Professor Givi was able to see the potential in his students before they could and nurture it in a unique way that grew each student's individual confidence. Next up, Jeremy Levy is the Distinguished Professor of Condensed Matter Physics in the Kenneth P. Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences, Physics and Astronomy Department. He serves as the director of the Pittsburgh Quantum Institute and came to the university in 1996. A mentee reflected that, quote, "I would not be where I am today without the foundation Professor Levy laid for my career and his unfailing support at all levels throughout my progression from undergraduate student to tenure-track faculty member. Professor Levy is truly a model advisor and mentor in every way." Next, we honor Beatrice Luna, Professor of Psychiatry in the School of Medicine. Bea also holds secondary appointments in the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences and in pediatrics in the School of Medicine. She joined the University of Pittsburgh in 1997 as a visiting research assistant professor and also joined the faculty in psychiatry in 2001 as an assistant professor. As one mentee said, quote, "Professionally, being a student in Dr. Luna's lab was a graduate student dream come true. I woke up every morning excited about going to work. Dr. Luna provides the perfect balance of guiding her students in the right direction in terms of projects, while allowing us the flexibility to do a project we actually wanted to do." Unquote. And Dr. Charles Perfetti is not here, it seems. So, Charles Perfetti, Distinguished Professor of University Professor of Psychology in the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences. He serves as the director of the Learning Research and Development Center, having joined the faculty in 1967. One former student observed, quote, "He helped me transition from an unfocused undergraduate to a successful graduate student, and due to his mentorship, to a successful faculty member. The single greatest influence on my career was learning from and working with Dr. Charles Perfetti." So congratulations to you all. you just remain to give away the award? We'll get this. This year, the Office of the Provost awarded 5 faculty members with the Provost's Award for Diversity in the Curriculum. The honor recognizes exceptional efforts to incorporate equity and inclusion into existing courses and curricula. Winners receive a $2,000 cash prize. Benjamin Brand, in the Kenneth P. Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences, German department, reframed his course, Indo-European Folk Tales, and taught the connection between colonialism and the spread of Indo-European languages. Paul Harper, in Pitt Business, designed the course Race and Business Ethics to fulfill a need for a historically informed and culturally embedded approach to moral theory, management decision-making, and leadership development. And the next 3 will not be here, but I'll read off their awards. Elena James, in the School of Medicine, Department of Dermatology, reformatted the dermatology course Skin and Musculoskeletal Disease to include a skin color gradient of images with white, brown, and black skin colors. Robert Carestis, in the Swanson School of Engineering, Electrical and Computer Engineering, made changes to his electromagnetics course to provide a more engaging environment using 3 aspects: teamwork, gamification, and diversity and inclusion practices. And Jennifer White, in the School of Health and Rehabilitation Sciences, Department of Occupational Therapy, challenged students across 5 courses to be inclusive of the diverse spectrum of people they will be serving in the future. Congratulations to all. Now I would like to introduce Rob Ruttenbar, Senior Vice Chancellor for Research.
Chancellor Gallagher, Dr. Cudd, Dr. Shaker, and faculty, it's truly my honor to be able to pay tribute to the outstanding achievements of our faculty. It's the very people we honor today who've helped the University of Pittsburgh become ranked as among the top universities in the world. Your distinction today as the recipient of a prestigious award is because of your commitment to high-quality research, scholarship, and creative endeavors. Each of you has earned this honor in recognition of your achievements in your field of exploration, but in addition to your individual expertise, I know that you also have much in common. You have invested in your students. You've engaged with the community, however it is defined, and helped it to grow. And you have collaborated. We know that research can be solitary work, and the achievements you've earned are because of your never-ending perseverance and probably your own impatience to uncover bigger discoveries. We also know that the research becomes a greater good and has a larger impact when individuals collaborate. In that kind of team, new questions are asked, new paths are taken, and multidisciplinary scholarship leads to unexpected inspirations and innovations. As Chancellor Gallagher said at last year's Momentum Funds Showcase, making a concept bigger might mean making it different. One way we keep score on the excellence of the research enterprise is by counting external funding. But this is just one way. It is absolutely not the only way. But I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that in the world of rankings related to research funding, we have some reasons to be proud of what you and your fellow researchers do in the service of discovery at Pitt. Your strength has put Pitt on the map here. Consider total research expenditures in fiscal year 2021 totaled $955 million. In 2020, Pitt was ranked number 7 in receiving National Institutes of Health funding. And in the latest rankings, fiscal year 2020, Pitt was ranked number 15 in research and development expenditures according to the U.S. National Science Foundation. Now let me stress that this is just one way of tracking our impact, our success, and our excellence across the full landscape of scholarship at Pitt, just one way. And prestigious awards are another way. And in fact, it's a big and important way because many of these awards are reviewed and judged outside of Pitt by experts nationally and internationally against a fierce landscape of competing peers. Winning many of these is a very big deal. And today's ceremony celebrates 238 faculty at Pitt who over the past 2 years have been recognized by a wide range of institutions. These prestigious awards are conferred by national and international organizations, professional societies, academies, honors groups, regional and national associations, select funding agencies, and other organizations that bestow awards that highlight notable faculty achievements. Our data team looked at the 238 awards and found that every school here at Pitt is represented, as well as all career stages. More than 60 prestigious awards recipients are early career assistant professors, and about 70 are associate professors. Full professors, chairs, vice chancellors, and center directors from across Pitt are also recognized through these awards. The good news is I'm not reading them all. I can do it in just under 2 hours, but we're not. I will close in saying that together you are an inspiring team of explorers. With your colleagues, faculty, and staff, as well as the staff throughout the Office of the Senior Vice Chancellor for Research who help you through your research life cycle, you've achieved greatness. So to each of you who have received a prestigious award, I extend my personal congratulations. You really earned it. So at this time, I'd like to ask Chancellor Gallagher and Senior Vice Chancellor Shaker to join me as we invite the honorees from the schools from the health sciences to come on stage to be recognized. As I call up each school, the names of all the honorees will be scrolling on the screens behind me. Let's begin with the School of Medicine. This is going to be interesting. You don't all fit on the invisible black line, so we're going to make this happen. Right. So, School of Medicine. I'd like all the honorees from the School of Medicine who are with us today to come up to the stage. Today we have with us Tim Billier, Tulia Bruno, Anne Roxandra Carvunis, Jishnu Dash, Torin Finkel, Sarah Gaffin, Mary Ganguly, Yinan Gong, Melinda Hamilton, Dwi Kamaladuli, David J. Leventhal, Julie B. McCausland, Yael Nehemiah Arbili, Steffi Osterreich, Alfonso C. Silva, Adam Slivka, Cynthia St. Hilaire, Tina L. Sumter, Parithu Sanda, Dario Vignali, Jerry Vockley, and Jianying Zhang. How about a round of applause for everybody in Madison? Either side, man. Congratulations. Hi, I'm happy to shake your hand. Hey. Okay. Photos. Our next school is the School of Dental Medicine. You're still up, right? We have one honoree from the School of Dental Medicine, and they're truly deserving of recognition. Joining us today is Jacqueline Burgett. Next is the School of Health and Rehabilitation Sciences. I'd like to ask the honorees who are with us today to come up to the stage. Our honored faculty from this school are Rory Cooper, Alicia Kuntz, Sarah Piva, and Jesse Van Swearingen. Thank you. Our next school to be recognized for their outstanding faculty is the School of Nursing. With the following honorees here in attendance today, join us on the stage: Margaret Rosenzweig, Teresa H. Thomas, Susan W. Westmiller. Up next is the School of Pharmacy, with the following outstanding faculty honorees here in attendance today. Join us on the stage: Katie J. Suda, Raman Venkataramanan. Our last school in the health sciences is the School of Public Health. With the following honorees here in attendance today, join us on the stage: Amy Hartman, Robbie B. Maylard, Joshua T. Matila. So, Chancellor Gallagher, please remain. I now invite Provost Cudd to join us as we recognize the rest of our honored faculty. Our first school to be recognized is the Kenneth P. Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences. With the following outstanding honorees here in attendance today, join us on the stage: Raja Adal, Rachel Bizanson, Caitlin Francis Bruce, Kay Brumman, Rosemary Capo, Danny Choi, Nicole Mitchell Gant, Anna Marsland, Andrew Mugler, Kenneth Perkins, Meena Rajagopalan, Jonathan Rubin, Raul Hernandez Sanchez, Michael Sayet, Amy K. Wagner. Our next group of honorees comes from the Katz Graduate School of Business and College of Business Administration. Would the faculty here in attendance today join us on the stage? C.B. Bhattacharya, Jeffrey Inman, Carrie Liana. Our next group of honorees come from the School of Computing and Information. I would like to ask the following faculty honorees to join us on the stage. Adriana Kovashka, Marcia Rapchak. Our next group of faculty that we will recognize is from the School of Education. I would now ask the following faculty honorees to join us on the stage. Gina Garcia, Kari Koka. The next group of outstanding faculty to recognize today come from the Swanson School of Engineering. I would now ask the following honorees to join us on stage. Brian Brown, Karen M. Bursick, Catherine Hornbossel, Takeshi Kozai, Stephen Little, Jason Shoemaker, Alexander Stavanovich. Next up are the outstanding faculty from the Graduate School of Public and International Affairs. I would now ask the following honorees to join us on stage. Kevin Kearns, Jennifer Murtasashvili. Our last group of honorees to recognize today come from the School of Social Work. I would now ask the following faculty honorees, including the Dean, who is an honoree today, to join us on the stage, Betsy Farmer and James Hughley. So, congratulations again to all of our honored faculty who have joined us here today. Please give this group another big round of applause.
Come to the end. I want to thank everyone for being here today. It has been tremendous to gather with you in person. Let's give a final round of applause for all those we've honored and for the ongoing work of every faculty member at the university. Thank you. Working together, we are making our campuses, our region, and our world stronger through knowledge. I'm certain that our commitment to excellence in service, education, and research will continue to propel us forward. We're really forging ahead. I hope you will join me at the reception at the University Club immediately following this ceremony as we continue this celebration. Hail to Pitt.